Hi guys, and welcome to another video. In today's video lesson, we're going to be looking at grade 10 maths algebra, solving linear inequalities. And as you can see, this is point number 6, solve linear inequalities and show graphically the solution. Also, we must look at interval notation. So we're looking at point number 6. So let's get straight into it. Grade 10 maths algebra, solving linear inequalities. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve linear inequalities. I'm going to show you how to represent your answer on the number line. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to represent it in interval notation. The first example I'm looking at is from the IEB Exemplar 2012 paper 1. It says solve for x. And it reads as follows. 1 minus 2x is greater than equals to minus 1 and less than 9. And illustrate your solution on a number line. So the first thing that we need to look at is that, or note, is that we treat a linear inequality just like a linear equation. So we'll write down 1 minus 2x greater than equals to minus 1 and less than 9. Minus 2x greater than equals to. Now remember that we're isolating the x. So we need to leave this minus 2x in the middle. We're going to move this 1 over to both sides. And remember, we're going to treat it just like an equation. So the sign of that term must now change. So you're going to be left with minus 1. You're going to move that over to this side. It will be minus 1. And here you'll have 9 minus 1. Okay, remember that when you move a term across the inequality, the sign of that term is going to change. So now we got minus 2x is greater than equals to minus 2 and less than 8. So as you can see now, learners, we've isolated the x and it's in the middle. But the coefficient of x is negative 2. Now, in order for me to solve for x, I need to divide every term by minus 2. If I divide by minus 2, remember that that's a negative number now. And as I told you, that when you divide by a negative number, right, or multiply by a negative number, the direction of our inequality is going to change. So therefore, let's look at it. What's going to happen? Minus 2 divided by minus 2 is 1. The inequality is going to change. That's going to become x. And now 8 divided by minus 2 is minus 4. So now your solution will read as follows. X must be greater than minus 4 and less than equals to 1. Now you can write it like this. X greater than minus 4 less than equals to 1. Okay, according to the number line, you know your number line, the negative numbers obviously would start first and then you're going to go up to your positive numbers and so on. Okay, so one thing to note is that when you divide by a negative number, there is it like so, the direction of your inequality must change. Okay, that's very, very important. Now that only happens when you divide or multiply by a negative number. Other thing to take note of is that you treat linear inequalities just like you would treat equations. Now let's represent this on a number line. When representing on a number line, all we need to do is draw a line. Write down these critical values. The first one there is minus 4. Second one is 1. And for greater than, we would put or represent it as an open circle. And for less than equal to, we would represent it as a closed circle. Now all that means is that at minus 4, that is not a part of your solution per se. Like for example, the first integer value after that would be included, which would be negative 3. But here, 1 is included in the solution. Okay, so you just join those two together. And that's how you represent your number line. Mathematics, we call this here, this inequalities, we call it set builder or set selector notation. And here we call this here the number line. Okay, it's actually saying the same thing. Now interval notation, you'd actually represent your answer like this. X element of, right, minus 4. Now for greater than, you would put a round circle like so. Okay, or round bracket I should say. Round circle. Okay, I mean circles are round, right? And then minus 4, so a round bracket there. And then we'd have a semicolon there like so. Remember, less than equal to 1. So you put a 1 there and you would put a square bracket. So basically, for greater than or less than signs on a number line, you represent it with an open circle. and in interval notation with a round bracket. For greater than equal to or less than equal to signs on a number line, you represent it with a closed circle, okay? And in interval notation, you represent it with a square bracket. That's basically it, learners. Okay, let's look at another question. And the question that I'm going to look at is from the DBE November 2019 paper 1. And it reads as follows. Given x plus 5 over 2 is greater than minus 2. Solve for x. So let's write down this question. X plus 5 over 2 greater than minus 2. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to now multiply by 2, or you can cross multiply here, which will leave me with x plus 5. Remember, if I multiply everything by 2 here, okay, I'm now going to get x plus 5. Remember, 2 and 2 would cancel. 2 times minus 2 is going to be minus 4. X plus 5. Okay, let's just simplify here. X is going to be greater than minus 4. Remember, if you move a term across now, it's going to be minus 4. It's going to be minus 5 there. Remember, plus 5, you're moving it over. The sign of that term is going to change. X now is going to be greater than minus 9. Okay, so now you've solved for x. So that's 2.2.1. Now 2.2.2, you want to represent this on a number line. So if XER means that our solution or answer now is going to be for all real values of x. Remember, real values means that all the answers are going to be rational or irrational values. Now, we'll just draw the line like I showed you before. And then we'd write our critical value there, minus 9, x greater than minus 9. Remember, greater than is an open circle and greater than is on that side. Okay, what I normally would write, how you'd remember this is that the inequality will be, and the arrow will be pointing in the same direction. Now, if you was to represent this answer in interval notation, it will be as follows. X element, okay, remember minus 9, it's going to start off there, so minus 9 there. Now, why round bracket? Because it's an open circle, or greater than sign there, semicolon. Now this is going to infinity. Now for infinity and for minus infinity, you will always represent it with a round bracket, and that will now be your solution. Learners, if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to JL Maths, my YouTube channel. You can also like my Facebook page, Justin Lazarus Mathematics, and watch all videos in order of the work schedule for free on my website, which is jlmaths.com. And I'll catch you in the next video.